Let's bring in LifeSet.com political editor Keith Koffler. Keith, see, that's what happens. Keith Koffler. It's Keith. Keith, good to see you this morning. I'll get it together
Keith,
by, well,
you're doing great.
9 a.m. Well, what's Trump need to do at the debate coming up this week? Just more of the same?
I mean, yeah, he needs to do what's been working for him. He's gone on a brilliant strategy here of planting seeds of doubt about Ted Cruz. Now, it's almost as if whether Ted Cruz was actually born a citizen or not, and almost everybody agrees that he is a natural-born citizen, hardly matters. What Trump is doing very cleverly is planting little seeds of doubt in everybody's mind about whether there's going to be a challenge by the Democrats to Cruz's eligibility, and it probably is getting some people worried and who aren't really paying close attention to that and don't know the fine points of constitutional law. So, you know, in the debate, then more of the same. It's worked for him, and there's no need to really change anything that he's been doing.
And sometimes Donald Trump is not known for his subtlety, but it is very subtle. He will say things like, yes, well, you know, this could drag on for a long time in the court system, and it does give people pause, at least some, does it not?
It does, and you know, it's an interesting point that you raised, that he's not known for his subtlety, but Donald Trump, if you read some of his books, I've read a couple of his books, he's much more self-aware than people realize, and much more devious in a way, or much more of a strategizer than people realize. So while he comes across with all this bluster, he actually is a thinker. He knows what he's doing, and some of this is actually much more planned and strategized than people realize.
I want to get your take on the FBI taking a major step in Hillary Clinton, the investigation into her use of private email as Secretary of State, expanding the probe to public corruption, to the public corruption track.
Yeah, she now has two separate FBI investigations going on. One is on the emails and whether or not didn't correctly steward classified information on her server, and the other is the Clinton Foundation. I mean, there are all kinds of contributions coming in from all kinds of places, people with business before the State Department. This is a real problem for her, and I think on the Democratic side with the polls, we're starting to see movement by Sanders, and I think part of this is related to whether or not people think that she's going to, in the end, be a viable candidate. I mean, think about this. The Democratic leader, the leader in the Democratic primaries, is under FBI investigation on two fronts. That is an incredible thing to have happening, possibly very damaging for her going forward.
Can we talk about the rest of the Republican field? That platform is getting a little narrower at the FBN debate. I want to hear who you see possibly breaking out outside of the Trump-Cruz race among the more moderates there on the stage. Are we seeing anything out of Christie or Bush that could challenge Cruz and Trump?
I think possibly. You know, in recent days, we've seen sort of the Christie that everybody was waiting for months. I mean, he's becoming more of the tough guy. Trump kind of stole that from him, this tough guy aspect that Christie was supposed to have, and now he's making stronger statements about people. He's going after people. He might be able to delete a little bit of support from Trump, but at this point, you know, it's really an outsider's race. People expected that there would be a moderate versus a conservative, establishment versus an outsider, and really what you have is two outsiders competing. I don't see these guys really breaking through, but I think Christie may have a chance if he can really keep the momentum going that he's had in New Hampshire and with his whole the way he's been presenting himself recently.
Well, it sets up a really terrific debate coming up on Thursday, that's for sure. Keith, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Keith Koffler, take care. And